Why do we have to go to school? When will the next holiday start? Who let the dogs out? That's what the video is about. Questions, questions, questions. Let's dive in. What have we got? Questions with auxiliary verbs. You know there are two types of questions. Yes, no questions and questions with question words. Would you like some sweets? Yes, I would. No, I wouldn't. And there are question words where you want to specific information. When can I get some water? Where should they meet their friends? If you have a question word, it's at the beginning of the question. Then you have an auxiliary verb. Can, should, would, and so on. Then we have the subject, then the full verb, and then maybe a rest. Let's have a look at yes or no questions with full verbs in the simple present tense. Does Leah love Fritz? Yes, she does. Congratulations. Or no, she doesn't. Do the girls have any problems? Yes, they do. No, they don't. In the simple past. Did Madeleine win the match? Yes, she did. No, she didn't. Present perfect. Have you ever won in the lottery? Yes, I have. No, I haven't. And will future. Will Anna and Julia ever be friends again? Yes, they will. No, they won't. Yes, no questions, no question word. You always need a short answer and not only yes, no. That would be impolite. And there are questions with question words and prepositions. Prepositions are an, of, about, in, and so on. Why does it always rain on me? No. Why does Hannah buy Tom a present? For questions with a question word, this is at the beginning of the sentence. Where else should it be? Who, what, where, why, when, how, which, and so on. Let's get romantic. Who is Ellie interested in? You can't answer with yes or no because you want to get a specific information. Which picture are you looking at? Prepositions stay with the verb and are placed at the end of the question. Interested in, looking at. In, at are prepositions and they stay connected to the verb at the end of the question. And there are questions with who and what. Who let the dogs out? With who and what you can ask for the subject and the object, but there's a difference. Let's look at subject questions. Who let the dogs out? Or who works hard? What is your hobby? Who or what functions as the subject of the question? So, who or what are the subject? Wer, wem oder was of the question. Therefore, you do not need an auxiliary verb. In contrast to who does Lena often visit? Who don't the students like? So these are object questions, not subject. You need an auxiliary verb. Does, don't. Who and what are the object? Wen oder was of the question. Therefore, you need an auxiliary verb. That's the difference. If you ask for the subject, no auxiliary verb. Who let the dogs out? When you ask for the object, who did the dogs let out? It would be the other way around. You need an auxiliary verb. And there are negative questions. You can use negative questions if something is not clear and you want to be absolutely sure. So, for example, doesn't Mona come to Laura's party? I'm not quite sure. I just want to ask you. Aren't you interested in rock music? Because you listened to rock music last time we saw each other. Didn't you ask Lena for help? Because she helped you. So you aren't quite sure, but you want to get sure, so you ask a negative question. Questions with the verb be. Questions with the verb be begin either with the form of the verb be for yes, no question, or, surprise, surprise, with a question word. For example, in the simple present tense. Is your friend from Germany? Yes, he is. No, he isn't. Yes, no question. Simple past. Were your teachers nice at school? Yes, they were. No, they weren't. Present perfect. Have you ever been in London? Yes, I have. No, I haven't. Will future. When will you be there? No, yes, no question, because they're the question word. That's it. Summary. In this video, we were talking about questions. All you need to know. You have two types of question. Questions with question words, who, when, where, how, which, and so on. And yes, no questions. You have no question word, but you need a short answer. So, there are subject questions. Who let the dogs out? You ask for the subject, wen oder was. And there are object questions where you need an auxiliary verb. Who did you ask for help? In contrast to who asked you for help. That would have been a subject question. If you have got a preposition an, on, at, about, for, it stays next to the verb at the end of the question. Das war's. Wenn dir das Video gefallen hat, Daumen hoch. Wenn du sagst, nö, labarababa, wusste ich schon alles, Daumen nach unten. Ansonsten bei Fragen, lass gerne eine Frage im Kommentar da. Ich versuche sie zu beantworten, wenn es geht. Sage es allen weiter, freue mich über jedes Abo des Kanals. Informationen findest du natürlich unten in der Videobeschreibung, auch zu den Übungen in der Grammarbox oder zum English Grammar Workbook. In diesem Sinne, danke fürs Zusehen, bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao for now.